right, so this is Money Duck, and it is August 3rd, Saturday, before the market. We've had a great week, and as you guys know, on Saturdays, I like to clean my charts off completely. So we day trade, scalp the market. We're intraday traders, and our charts end up with a lot of marks on them as we trade them through the week. If you don't keep them clean as you go, that's fine. But I think on the weekend, what I like to do, I know what I like to do, and I think it's good for everybody, is just to delete everything off the chart. In TradingView, come down to the trash can, click on it. You'll see right now it says remove 0 drawings. I have nothing on this chart. So I've already cleaned off the chart. But you'll click on that, clean everything off your chart. Now, if you don't want to clean everything off your chart, you can always lock up some trend lines or zones and groups and delete everything but the main things you want. So I like deleting everything just so I can get a fresh view. We're always making higher highs, higher lows in the market, even on this 4-hour time frame. So I like to just start with fresh chart. Now, here's what we do. We look at a 4-hour time frame, a 60-minute time frame, and a 15-minute time frame. That is for our trend direction analysis or our charting analysis. We like to look at the big picture, see what things are happening out there, and then we'll dial down to a 3-minute and 5-minute for our entries, for our day trading. And then we'll stay on that 3-minute and 5-minute to monitor our trades, to move our stop losses or pull off partial profit. What I like to do is place X amount of contracts, whatever that may be for you and your account, and then close out part of that trade, leaving a runner or two on, or half your trade on. So let's say you're doing 20 micros. Put on 20 micros, it pops up X amount of points. You close out, say 15, and you pull your stop to break even, and you let those 5 ride. It doesn't always work that we have runners, but you tend to get more on those runners than if you don't trade them at all. And you don't want to try and get back in. I don't like trying to chase a move and get back in on something if I was already in it in the first place. If it's going to trend in one direction and I've already picked my entry and closed out partial, I would like to ride that move. Okay, so those are what we call runners. Those I look at as bonus trades. Okay, our main trade, let's say you do the 20 micros and it moves, it swings up and you close out 15 and move your stop to break even. That is your main trade. That should be your daily bread, your daily goal, the money you need to live on as you're looking to trade versus go out and work a job. So you need an income. If you're not closing out part of your profit, you're not taking an income. If you're looking at doing day trading instead of working a 9-to-5 job, then you have to close profit. You have to take profit in order to get your paycheck. So go ahead and close out part of the trade, lock in that whatever it may be per day. And I have a video that goes over that, guys, where it goes over looking at what you need per month. Let's say it's $4,000 you have to make per month. Well, $4,000 per month is $1,000 per week. If you trade 5 days a week, that is only $200 per day. Okay, $200 a day, 5 days. That's $1,000 a week, $4,000 for the month. So if that's all you need, you're only looking for $200 a day. So let's say you place 2 trades. That's $100 per trade is all you need to make, and then let your runners run. That's your bonus. Okay. So again, there's a video out on that on YouTube. So what we're doing now is we're cleaning our chart. We're getting ready for Sunday. We're getting ready for the market. We go down through every instrument and do this same analysis for every instrument. So I like to draw an outer downtrend line and an outer uptrend line. That's it on the 4-hour chart. And then I like to look for what I call zones. What my zones are is we can see where the price currently is. Here's what's going to happen on Sunday night, Monday. It's going to move. I can guarantee you that platinum will move. There's 3 directions platinum can move. Everybody thinks just up and down. Nope, it can move sideways. So the 3 directions platinum can move is sideways, or it can move up, or it can move down. I like to have a clear target. I like to get my targets off of a 4-hour time frame. And then when we're down on the smaller chart, the 3 and 5, we know that it's going to move in a up and down fashion. We're going to see lower lows, lower highs for a downward move. We're going to see higher lows and higher highs for an upward move. So we take advantage of that and we get on one of those pullbacks, okay, breaks and pullbacks. So what we're out is a 4-hour time frame. I can see here we have, and you can pull back, but I don't really see, this high is bigger than this one. I'm not going to draw a trend line from this high to here. And the reason why, we're below that. That trend line would come across here. So there's really no need for me to draw it right now. We're down below that. What I will draw is I'm going to draw one here, see what it looks like if I attach it to this high here, see where it comes into play over here. And if it's up here, that's great. If not, I'll have to take that second point and draw out here. So what I like to do is kind of zoom out, and we get the old trend line tool and hit the top here, and then we'll hit this top, and we'll go ahead and color that as a downtrend line. And then we're going to look over here and see where we're at. I could have done this. So see how it's below it. So what I want to do, since it's below it, is I'm going to take that point and stretch it over here. And if I put it there, we're still beyond that with where we're at. So it has to come out here. Okay, and I'll just kind of zoom in. I like to zoom in and make sure, and we're not even that far over. So we have to move it out to this one. So those are my 2 points. So those are my 2 points for a downtrend line. Uptrend line, I'm going to pull back in and look. We have these lows in here. I want to look to the left and see. And this may take where we have to go out to a daily or even longer. So I'll come in and I see this turn here. So if you look at platinum, we were in a nice downward move. Platinum's in a downward move after the upward move here. So nice downward move. And then we had a turn here. We had a turn here. You can clearly see on a 4-hour, we have a double bottom. Okay, so that's going to be my bottom point. And then I'm going to draw it to this one and then see how it comes across and see how we look overall. Okay. Let me kind of open this up a little bit, and we'll click it down here, and it did not attach to the candle. So what I like to do is kind of get it in the ballpark, and then I'll open up the chart a little more. I like to make sure it's right at that point. On the 4-hour time frame, yes, I use wicks. So I know some people are concerned, what do you draw it from the candle or from the wick? The only time I don't draw something from a wick is a 1-minute time frame. Any other time frame, I'm incorporating the wick, even a 3-minute. So there's my attachment points for those two. And you can see we're clearly above that area. We're going to color this over to an upline or an uptrend line. So there's my 2 trend lines. We're between them. And again, guess what? So it's going to move one of 3 ways. It's going to move sideways, going to move up and down. So we have to be ready for all. Do I try and predict which way it's going to move? No, I don't. I like the market to tell me where it's heading, and I will jump in those moves. We're looking at higher lows. We're looking at, and they call it change of character, guys. So that's what it's called now. When I started trading, you're looking at higher lows. If it's in a downward move, we're making lower highs, lower lows. Okay. Well, when it starts to change that direction, we're seeing higher highs and higher lows. And then we say, okay, we're possibly seeing that change in direction, that turn in the market, the bullish side of the market kicking in. They also call it a change of character. So it's got several meanings now. Over the years, they've made different terms that basically mean the same thing. So again, I'm not trying to predict which way it's going to go. Do I know if platinum, Sunday, Monday is going to go up or down? No, I don't. Okay. I'm not trying to predict it. Again, what I'm doing is drawing targets. We're going to look for the change in the direction. Okay. We're going to look in change in direction or character, whatever you want to call it. If we're making, by the time I dial it down to a 3-minute chart, if it's making lower highs and lower lows, well, I want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows if I think it's going to go bullish. In the meantime, we would just trade that short as long as we can. And then until we see a change in the highs and lows, we continue short. And that's even if it breaks through our zone. So Here's how I do the zone. So when doing a zone, I like to go out and zoom in on the 4 hour. I only need two. I will draw three. I only need two zones. The two zones I need is I need a target above me, I need a target below me. That's it. And then I like to draw a mid zone if I see some lows and highs that are in the same area. So one I can see right now just by glancing at the chart is you can see where platinum pulled down here and made this low and then bounced up above that previous high. So look at that low swing and then look at the high swing over here. Well, you could see that in the chart. The charts will tell you everything you need to know. I don't really need to come draw a line here, but I will to see that with my naked eye that that's where it turned, right around that area. Now I'm going to attach it to the wick. So what I like to do is draw some zones, some high and low. Now, I'm not going to go crazy and draw a ton. I only need one above and one below. And then if it breaks through or hits that zone and starts to break through, well, then I need to go back out to the 4 hour and look for something else. So what I'm going to do is zoom this back out. And what I like to do is incorporate the wicks on a turn. So in this little area here that I'm looking at now, I could see that we have the highest point is this turn right here. That is the highest point that it hit, in this whole area right here that we're looking at chart. And I could see the bullish candle here stopped right there, but yet it went up a little bit and pulled back down. Okay. That's the bearish side of the market, the bullish side of the market, basically deciding on a price. Okay. The bearish side of the market saying, nope, I'm not going to let you go up above that. And the bullish side of the market giving into that, taking profits, closing out positions that they may have taken here. If you look at a 4-hour chart and you look at these turns, you are going to see wicks. I have rarely seen turns without wicks on a 4-hour chart. Even though these are small, there's still a wick there. A wick up here, wick down here. Every turn, there's wicks. So again, that's the bullish and bearish side of the market competing basically. So what I'll do is use that high. I'm going to take this little tool and I'm going to come in from the bottom of the wick to the top. And then I'm actually going to color that as a sell zone. So what we would look for the platinum to do is if it's pulling up to that zone, look what it did here. It pulled up to that zone and turned before it. They don't always get to their highs and lows. Don't expect them to exactly get to that tick, that price way up there at the top. Doesn't always get right there. They turn short. So I'm going to call that a resistance area or sell zone. And it doesn't matter if you call these supply and demand, support, resistance. They're based off highs and lows. It's all the same thing, guys, different terms. So now I need to look at one below, which is down here. This is our lowest point that we reached. And I could see, again, a wick. I'm going to go from the green candle. That's the lowest point. But then I'm going to draw it to the body of the red candle there. And that's going to be where I'm going to come in and draw it. So the body of the red candle down to the wick of the green. And then we're going to color this green. That's going to be my buy zone. If the price comes back down to this zone, I'm going to look to buy it. If the price comes down to this zone, I am not going to immediately buy it. If we are in a short trade and the price goes down to the zone, I'm going to hold my runner. As long as we're making lower lows and lower highs, when it gets down here, I'm going to stay in the trade if it's making lower lows and lower highs, because guess what? It may push through this. Okay. And I want to be a part of that. I want to hold my trade, my runner. Now, if it gets down here and we're seeing lower highs, lower lows, but then we start seeing a higher high and higher low form in here somewhere, and it's kind of rounding over. That's just a term I use. I don't know, nothing technical. You know when something's rounding over, and it starts rounding over, and then it forms a higher high, higher low. Well, guess what? well, then the move is turning bullish. You're getting that change of character, change in direction. And then our target would be up here to this point, and then ultimately, if it breaks through that, guess what? That's your next target. So that's all I need on platinum. That's it. Now, I like to, again, draw zones. And you can see where I put this line here at the bottom of that wick. It's actually a candle body here. You can see wick up here, which it looks like it's the candle body there. The body of the candle here, the red one, looks like it's about the same. So let's take that line off. And let's come in and take the same tool, and I'm going to attach it here to the wick, to the candle body, and I color those yellow for the mid zone. That way you know when it approaches. And if you look at what I did there, I drew it from the wick to the body. Well, look what happened. It encompasses those wicks. So that to me says that is a perfect mid zone. That's a perfect mid zone. If it turns right here and goes up to that mid zone, it may have problem going through that. So again, if it's making higher highs, higher lows, and we're in an upward move, well, then it starts rounding over, making lower lows, lower highs. I would look to take the short. And then because it may just pull back up and tap that a second time. And then if you look, we had the low bounce here. Well, look what happened here. After this bearish move, it turned right there. It did not make it to the exact point of this low. Don't expect it to. Up, down, pulled back down. Guess what? Did not make it to that wick low right there. Don't expect it to. Okay, when it pulled back up here, did not make it to that wick high of this candle. Don't expect it to. Okay, that's when we're down on the 3-minute, 5-minute, drawing our trend lines. So that's basically all I need to do my analysis on the 4-hour chart and get ready for trading. Now from there, we'll dial down to the 60-minute, and then we go down to the 15-minute, and we're basically looking for what is going on the smaller time frame. And we clearly know we had an upward move, and then we bounced off of this area here, and it's pulled down back up for a retest. You'll see here it was here, pulled down, pulled back up to test that area as resistance, pulled down again, making and what did it make here? We had a high, pulled down and made a lower low than over here, pulled back up, retested that area, and guess what? Made a lower high than this one, and then it pulled down and made a lower low in here, lower than that one. So we say, okay, we're in a bearish movement. We have bearish momentum, just bigger swings. And then we had this big pullback. So we had a big pullback, but guess what? It formed a lower high than even that one. Not a huge amount lower, but a little bit lower. So again, still bearish. And then we had a push down for a lower low. So still bearish in the market on the move right now, starting with, that we're coming into on, Sunday, Monday. So right now I would look to be bearish overall. I would not enter personally until we had a pullback. If we get a pullback and then it starts to turn, and then I would get in short because it would make a lower high in that point. It's what I'm looking for. Now, am I doing that on the 15-minute? No, I'm down on the 3-minute looking for that. So I would be down here on the 3-minute. I would draw a trend line from here, across to here, and that's going to be an immediate trend line. We had non-farm payroll that made this nasty move here. So overall, we're going to look for a pullback and then a push further down. So that's basically what we're doing. And again, it all starts on the higher time frame. It all starts on the 4-hour. These zones are key, guys. You're out on a 4-hour chart and you're looking and finding these zones off these turns. They are big, powerful areas in the market that are respected, and you could go find these all day. I mean, I could see if I wanted a mid zone between this yellow mid zone line and this one, I could come in and you could see right here off this swing, and I could come in. Now I try not to draw too many things on the chart, but I could see that that's kind of a midway point between this turn right here, and then we made a lower high, lower low. So our whole swing is here's our high, down, up, down. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good, safe trading week.